This is Scott Becker with the Becker Private Equity and Business Podcast. As always, we try and teach and entertain. We hope you enjoy this. Here are 14 stories that we're following today, 5 stocks that dropped yesterday, plus 9 more stories. So the first thing we're watching is Humana dropped more than 10% yesterday. Stock is down 49% year to date. Health insurance stocks are falling currently. We'll talk about CVS Health in a moment, too. And part of this is due to Trump saying we're to try and cut out the middleman. We'll see how that goes. Second, Marvell Technology, which we write about a lot, also dropped more than 10% yesterday. The stock does remain up 86% year to date. It has a market cap of nearly $100 billion. Third, CVS dropped more than 5% yesterday. It's now down 44% year to date. Fourth, Reddit Inc. dropped 5%, still struggling. Fifth, Rivian dropped more than 4% and is down 37% year to date. Rivian's much smaller than Tesla, much larger than Lucid Motors, somewhere in between. We'll see how it does. Sixth, market futures point up today due to another expected Fed rate cut today. But the big news, the big issue is how long will the Fed keep cutting rates and what does next year look like? Seventh, we have a story in a newsletter in the top 7 ranked business news podcast. We'll just point out very quickly. The Wall Street Journal, in its different podcast, has spots 1, 2, 4, and 5. The Becker Private Equity podcast is ranked 3rd, and that's out of all Apple Business News podcasts. Eighth, a great article in the Wall Street Journal about Michael Dell and what he has done. Article basically says Michael Dell spent 40 years preparing for an AI boom no one saw was coming. Just an amazing story of leadership and vision and staying with it. He and Warren Buffett are 2 of the longest serving CEOs. Ninth, Dell is up 55% year to date, continues to knock it out of the park. 10th, one of the stocks we watch closely, Amazon, is up 52% year to date. 11th, more and more firms are looking at outsourcing CFOs and controllers. We follow closely a company called Sucker Moran in this area, a leader in CFO and controller outsourcing. 12th, excited to feature one of the leading companies in AI for revenue cycle, Akasa. Their co-founders, Ben Beto Ribby and Malinka Walayati, on the Becker's Healthcare podcast in January. 13th, a question for the audience. Who is an underrated great leader? Would love your thoughts. 14th, I'm so excited and thankful to have committed to making another investment in a privately held, incredible technology AI firm well beyond the startup stage. That's in Series D. I'm so impressed with the leadership. We'll have more on that at some point. Finally, P.S., I did see a YouTube on counting from 1 to 20. Some of you like golf with or play tennis with could really use watching that YouTube video that's really for children and learning how to count from 1 to 20, but many of them seem to need it. Thank you for listening to the Becker Private Equity and Business Podcast. We'll be back with you later today. Thank you very much for joining us.